Welcome to the Ringer Fantasy Football Show. My name is Danny Heifetz, and I'm joined by Danny Kelly and Horlbeck, and we are going over many of the games from Week 13. We are recording this on Tuesday, November 25th. We're releasing this on Thanksgiving. We have no idea when you are listening to this, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Recording from the past. What happened? Who won the games?
Aren't we always recording from the past?
This one's more from the past. Deeper into the past. Ooh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, bear with us. We don't have the latest injury information. We don't know. We're from the past. It's basically, we're basically just fucking Amish here. We're coming from the 1800s.
I begged these guys. I said, guys, we should tape on Thanksgiving. They didn't want to do it. So I said, all right, we'll have to do it early. But I begged.
So we're going to go through these games. I don't know. I mean, I'll just, you know what? Honestly, up front, I don't know how helpful we're going to be. I don't know. We don't know who's going to be playing in a lot of these things, but we're going to go through it. And if you're listening to this on Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. All right, we're going to get to all these games, but first we're going to take a quick break. This episode is presented by Chime. Bank smarter this season. Fantasy football is all about strategy. Well, here's a winning strategy for your money. Trade banking fees for fee-free banking, 1.5% cash back, getting paid when you say, and a higher APY on your savings. That's a lineup that wins. Stop banking the old way. Bank smarter through Chime. Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and the secured Chime Visa credit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. members FDIC. Optional services and products may have fees or charges. Details at chime.com/fees info. With a qualifying direct deposit, earn 1.5% cash back on eligible secured Chime Visa credit card purchases. APY means annual percentage yield. Learn more at chime.com. So there's good news and bad news. The Thanksgiving games are good, but if they're over, I have bad news, which is the rest of the games kind of suck this week. They're kind of bad.
Yeah, you know how they say, like, when you go out drinking, like, you steal half of tomorrow for today? It feels like that's what they did on Thanksgiving this year. Is, man, the Thanksgiving slate was awesome, and I'm going to assume it was great. You go all the way down to the games, man. The night games this week, we thought we've been on a bad streak of great games. Well, buckle up, because the Sunday night and the Monday night game are pretty brutal.
There's one great game There's a good game in the afternoon, in the early window, which is the Texans are at the Colts. Colts are favored to win by 4.5.
Oh, that's a big one.
The AFC, it's kind of a red flag when the AFC South is kind of the marquee game of the day. But I mean, Texans-Colts. If the Texans have 2 games left versus Indianapolis, and if the Texans win both those games, the Texans have like a 75% chance to make the playoffs. And if the Texans lose both these games, they have like a 10% chance to make the playoffs. So it matters a lot. And also, I don't know if CJ Stroud's going to be back. I feel like he will. He should be, because he missed 3 games. And Davis Mills went 3-0. But now, I don't know. The Texans have the best defense in the NFL. And now they're playing the Colts, who just give up 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. And I don't know. I'm very curious to see Daniel Jones versus the Texans defense. My gut is, I don't know. I don't know if any offense is really going to be able to move the ball on the Texans. I don't think the Texans can take advantage of this. But I kind of think the Colts will win, but it's going to be like 16-15 or some weird-ass score.
DK, is the shine coming off the Colts a little bit to you, or no?
Yeah. I think so. I mean, I feel like, and our buddy Ben Solak was pointing this out the other day, that basically Daniel Jones's sack rate has kind of leveled out to where it was in the past. Like, we talked about this early in the year. Like, one of the biggest things, one of the issues for Daniel Jones and throughout his career, and Heifetz makes this joke all the time about he's worried about Daniel Jones crossing the street because he's got no peripheral vision. Like, it's come back up to where it has been historically, and that's obviously kind of concerning, because at the beginning of the year, Daniel Jones is not taking sacks, and obviously that helps keep the chains moving, keep the offense going in the right direction. The offense does not feel as dangerous as it did early in the year. I think Jonathan Taylor is still a very, very good player, but overall, they just don't feel like they have as much teeth offensively as they did early in the year, and they're kind of coming back to earth a little bit. I still think they're a good team, but the whole historic 2007 Patriots comps, all that stuff, that never really felt real to me, and now it's starting to come back to reality a little bit.
Can we play a game, though? I almost want to rewind this podcast and do it further from the past and be like, what if Harrison Butker missed that field goal in overtime, and then the Colts went 20 yards and then made the field goal and beat the Chiefs?
We'd feel completely differently.
I know. I'm just kind of like, I don't think the Colts played that poorly against Kansas City. I don't know. I don't think they played that poorly.
I don't think they're a bad team. I just do you feel like the offense is as crazy efficient and feels as good as it did early in the season?
No, but I mean, they've been playing better. It's okay to play amazing defenses and look fine. And I think that that's what you're going to see this week. I think the Texans are too good at every level of the defense for anyone to just completely rock them, unless you're the Rams and Stafford with McVay. Like the Texans defense, they're number one in the NFL by EPA per snap, the number two defense by DVOA. The Texans have the number one defense by DVOA versus the pass. Derek Stingley Jr. is probably the best cornerback in the entire NFL right now. Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson are probably the best edge rusher combo in the NFL. I mean, obviously, Myles Garrett's on another plane from everyone this year, but I think Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson are amazing. Will Anderson is the second most pressures of any edge rusher this year, and Danielle Hunter's also top. They're both top 4 in quarterback hurries. The run defense is also good. Kalen Bullock had 3 turnovers last week against Josh Allen and Bills. They just handled it. I mean, I don't know. Again, Azeez Al-Shaair at inside linebacker, like every level, linebackers, defensive line, secondary.
Dude, Azeez Al-Shaair is fucking everywhere.
He's amazing. And it's like, it's the DeMeco Ryans, it's the swarm thing. It's these like Robert Saleh, these like DeMeco Ryans, this like that 49ers branch of defense. It's just like, they're kind of the embodiment of flying to the ball, which I think is everyone's favorite compliment to give a defense. The Texans are like the platonic ideal right now, just fly to the ball. They're flying everywhere. They play good run defense.
Swarming.
They're swarm, but that swarm, it's not a meme though. It's like an acronym. It's a funny acronym too, because it doesn't really make sense. I forget exactly what Robert Saleh, I forget if it's Jim Schwartz or Saleh, but like, it stands for something. It's kind of stupid if you spell it out, but it's a lifestyle.
It's funny, man. Like we talked about this with the Packers in the Wednesday episode where we kind of went through their schedule and we're like, who have they actually beaten? The Colts are a little bit in a similar boat. I mean, they've beaten the Dolphins. They beat the Broncos, but they really should have lost that game. That was the leverage field goal kick situation.
Right.
They probably should have lost that game, but they beat the Dolphins. They beat the Broncos. They beat the Titans. They beat the Raiders. They beat the Cardinals. They beat the Chargers. They beat the Titans again. Yeah. And they beat the Falcons. Those are their only wins. They've lost to the Steelers. They've lost to the Chiefs. And they lost to the Rams. And they probably should have lost to Denver. So they're 0-4 against the 4 best teams they played, I guess, outside of the Chargers.
I just feel like we knew this. I don't know. The 07 Patriots thing was a meme, and we weren't actually thinking Daniel Jones was fucking Tom Brady. Like, they were closer to the Vikings last year with Darnold, where we're like, how long will this go? And we'll see. Also, I have to mention Swarm, which, again, is the motto of the DeMeco Ryans defense. It's really a Robert Saleh thing in the Niners. I'm sure it goes back further than that. And I want to mention it because they're talking about it now, and it's like it's going to be a big thing. It stands for Special Work Ethic, Relentless Mindset.
I feel like it could just be Swarm and it'd be okay.
I know, but it's an E. That's my point. Swarm.
Oh, it's Swarm.
They call it Special Work Ethic, Relentless Mindset. It's spelled wrong. It's not really Swarm. They couldn't really come up with an A.
They should
I feel like it should just be Swarm. Swarm to the ball. That's it.
Swarm.
You don't need it to be an acronym. We get it.
Coaches love making shit acronyms, man. Coaches fucking love acronyms. I just think it's funny that Swarm is Swarm. Anyway, if CJ Stroud plays and the Texans lose, I don't know. We'll see. But this will be a fun game. And it will be interesting. John Taylor versus the Texans defense will be something. But I kind of think the Texans defense is going to play well. Speaking so much of the Niners, though, the Niners are at Cleveland this week. Honestly, all the games from here are downhill. Niners are at Cleveland this week. This is, Craig, we're going to learn a lot about Brock Purdy in this here game. But what the fuck happened with Brock Purdy on Monday Night Football?
It's clear that he's not healthy and that his toe situation is bad because it's his plant foot and it has completely taken away the power from his arm.
Why did he come back? He threw 3 picks in the first half and then he threw it past 10 yards downfield. Why did Brock Purdy return from injury if he then looks super injured?
I feel like the way they've been talking about it, it's like, this is the healthiest it's going to be. And so it's like, are you going to play him or not? And they're testing it out. And I mean, they've won 2 games with him. Fortunately for the Niners, they have a really easy schedule. Like they've won the 2 games with Brock Purdy, even though he hasn't particularly looked great in either game. They play the Browns, then they play the Titans, the Colts, the Bears. Like the schedule is relatively easy for them, but it's his back foot. He can't plant. And I do wonder, like, I don't know, what are they going to do when they need to win a game to get into the playoffs and Brock Purdy's playing like shit and they have to play against the Bears in week 17? And Brock Purdy still has no juice in his toe because he can't plant on it. It's a really bizarre situation because the Niners are 8-4. They're 3rd in the division, but they're 8-4. I think the Niners are going to make the playoffs. Like based on their schedule, I think they have a good chance of making the playoffs.
DK, this sounds like a hot take, but I think it's pretty mainstream. Right now, Mac Jones is better for the Niners than Brock Purdy, is he not?
I think
right now with his current health situation, with Brock Purdy having missing months with the turf toe.
Yeah.
We joke about noodle arm Tua throwing punts to people. It looked like Brock Purdy was doing that on Monday night. There was a pass to McCaffrey that McCaffrey fielded like a punt.
I mean, there's something wrong with Purdy. I mean, whether it's physical or mental or whatever's going on, like clearly. And also, but here's the other point, and this is why this game, it's weird. I would never bet on Shedeur Sanders to beat even the Niners depleted defense the way they play. I don't think it's going to work very well. But Shanahan has a horrible history versus Jim Schwartz, who's the defensive coordinator for the Browns. The Browns, Adam, right there with the Browns. There's 4 defenses this year. They're so head and shoulders above everyone else. It's like the Browns, the Texans, the Seahawks, and the Broncos are to me in a tier above them. And they play different ways, but the Browns defense is unbelievable. I looked this up on shout out True Media. Kyle Shanahan as a coordinator or a coach, so we're going back like 20 years, has played Jim Schwartz as a defensive coordinator 9 times. Kyle Shanahan is 1-8 against Jim Schwartz with an average margin of loss of 10 points. And the too long don't read is the play action shit the Niners do just doesn't work against the way Jim Schwartz plays defense. For whatever reason, I just feel like it doesn't work. And I kind of curious. I don't know how Brock Purdy's going to play. I mean, the last time this happened a few years ago, the Niners had a bunch of injuries versus the Browns. The Browns kind of kicked the Niners' asses. They weren't very healthy then, but it's not like the Niners are healthy now. I don't know, DK. Part of me, I kind of wouldn't be shocked if the Browns win, except Shedeur is playing. So I don't think the Browns are going to win this game. But
my buddy Kyle Madsen, who covers the 49ers, sent me a note today that the 49ers have not won in Cleveland since 1984. 1984.
Is it Walter Mondale's running for president or some shit? That's unbelievable.
Which is, they don't play there every year, but it's just kind of a wild stat. Yeah, so I think it is an interesting matchup from many points of view. Like you said, the offense to defense matchup is a tough one for Shanahan. It does give me pause. Do you think they should sit Brock Purdy then and start Mac? I mean, I feel like Mac did a pretty good job when he was back.
It's really simple. When you have a private walkthrough, private practice without media, it's like, does Brock Purdy look like that throwing the ball? Like, what's wrong with you? You have to. You just gave Brock Purdy $250 million. I understand when you play him. It doesn't help anyone if he re-injures his fucking toe, which again, it's a foot injury. You have 3 ligaments in your feet, and one of them's messed up. It doesn't help anyone if he makes it worse. Certainly not helping the team. I don't know. Part of me is like, Mac played. He's got a PCL injury in his knee too. Maybe he's not healthy, but
he didn't. It's not like he ran around a lot. I think I've said this. I feel like one of Purdy's advantages is
sneaky little shit.
Yeah, he's a sneaky little shit who gets out of pressure and picks up first downs with his legs and really keeps the defense honest if they're playing man defense and turning their back to the quarterback. All that stuff. He can just make things happen with his legs, and he didn't do that in this last game. 16 yards rushing on 6 attempts. So. I don't know. It's like, what does he bring that's better than what Mac is?
Myles Garrett's going to get another 3 sacks on Purdy this week if Purdy plays.
Yeah.
It's just a really weird time. Like Purdy has said that he's like, I didn't want to come back until I felt like I could move around because that's a part of my game is like my agility. And yet, I don't know. Lamar is in a similar spot. Joe Burrow coming back from his toe injury.
Yeah. It's like teams are kind of like painted into a corner on this stuff.
Yeah. And it's like these guys want to play. And it's probably like, look, my toe probably needs like 3 months of doing nothing on it for it to heal. And I obviously don't have that time and I'm good enough. I can make it work enough to play in the game. But what do I do? Like Lamar probably should be taking a month off before he's healthy, but you can't do that.
No, you can though. There's a simple answer. They're not using Joe Burrow's crystals.
Oh yeah.
Well, Brock Purdy's not a crystal guy.
Put them in the shoe, maybe. I think that's a good idea.
Like a crystal toe boot instead of a steel toe boot. You do a crystal toe boot. Keep it around the toe.
It's like a splint, but it's a crystal around the toe.
That's good.
That's not bad.
Write that down.
No, that is pretty good. Well, let's ask a fantasy question from this game. What the hell do you do about Ricky Pearsall? So Ricky Pearsall's been back he's been back for 2 weeks. In the 2 games, 0 points and 1 point.
You bench him. I love Ricky Pearsall. I have him in multiple leagues.
Yeah, I think you just got your answer.
He had a PCL injury. He has a knee injury, and he has 6 yards. When you're coming back he went on injured reserve until he's not Justin Jefferson. Until you are unless you're Justin Jefferson or Jonathan Taylor or Christian McCaffrey, I am not playing a guy returning from injured reserve until he has had, let's say hypothetically, more than 6 yards in 1 game.
I do wonder if you're in a league with no trade deadline, or I don't know if any of those exist. The Niners have a bye next week, and then they play the Titans, Colts, Bears. Kind of wonder if the Niners are a little bit of a buy low.
If you could get Pearsall, I think he is. The problem is if you're a short-term team, if you need to go like 2-0 for the playoffs, you could go. If you need to win week 13 and win week 14 to get in, you could cut him if you want, because I'm like, you're not going to play him against the Browns, and then he's on bye, so he's useless to you. And then honestly, if he doesn't do anything against the Browns, you're not going to play Ricky Pearsall in the playoffs. So he has to do something versus Cleveland for you to play him until week 16. The flip side is I agree that if you cut him, Ricky Parasol could be a top 10 receiver for the playoffs. So you don't want to cut him. But like, I could see both ways. And then also, Jawan Jennings punched. They already what's his face, and I kind of wonder if Jawan Jennings can get suspended for this game. Yeah, he punched Trevon Merrick. Yeah, for the Panthers.
Well, Merrick got suspended because he punched Jennings in the nuts earlier.
Yeah, who among us?
The cameras caught. Very, very.
Was it a real punch or was it accidental, like Draymond Green in the 2016 finals?
It was like an uppercut. It was like an uppercut right to the dick.
Shut the fuck up, Craig.
Is Craig making some joke about the NBA that I went over?
He's pretending Draymond Green didn't mean to hit LeBron in the dick.
We'll never know.
Yeah, you know what? It's if only Draymond Green had given us any evidence in the last 9 years. Jaguars are at the Titans. I don't even want to give them my time of day. Trevor Lawrence is a blockhead, and I would like to see Trevor Lawrence just not to turn the ball over versus the Tennessee Titans. Can you not turn the ball over challenge Trevor Lawrence?
Bill always jokes about like who is the Shakey's game team every year if they make the playoffs. I can't think of a team that has a better record that I have absolutely zero faith in that more than the Jacksonville Jaguars. This
needs to be a memento tattoo. We only do fantasy, but we need a real life tattoo. When we pick playoff teams next year, we make a mistake. We always pick teams that we're like, no, they could be good. No one ever picks a team like, I think they'll be bad, but fraudulent and make it. But that happens every year.
Right. You just look at the schedules.
The Jags are minus 260 to make the playoffs, which means that they are 2-1 favorites to make the playoffs.
Because if they win this, they're 8-4.
Yes,
it's a lot. Yeah, they're the prime. Yeah, they're fake.
I thought Cam Ward played really well against the Seahawks.
Cam Ward has been playing better.
Obviously they didn't win, but he brought him to within, pretty close to making a comeback in that game. I thought he made some incredible plays. They went like 5 of 7 on fourth downs. He was getting out of the pocket, making these crazy plays. I was very impressed with him in that game. And basically just over the last few weeks, I think he's come along a little bit more. So just that could be an interesting game. Like always, divisional games are always kind of tough, but yeah.
We joked about him being the quietest number 1 pick ever. He's having one of the quietest rookie seasons for number 1 pick ever, even though he's played. What would Cam Ward have to do to be like the lead story on ESPN or like this show?
He would have to have like 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
450 yards and 4 touchdowns.
It's just hard for the Titans to do that, But he was impressive. That I will say that. But
you still can't play a single player on the Titans in fantasy.
No.
The Jags receiving group, you really can't play anybody.
Playing Brian Thomas with your season on the line is horrifying to think about.
No,
you could do it if you want, but I'm like, man.
ETN is the only guy you can play in this entire game outside of Trevor Lawrence.
What's the opposite of dance with who brung you when people want to bench a player who's really good? We're like, Brian Thomas is like the ignore people who fucked you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't fucking
hold
play
a
Brian
grudge.
Thomas.
Hold a grudge.
Saints are at the Dolphins this week. Miami's favored to win by 5.5. This is another game. I mean, Tyler Shuck versus the Dolphins off a bye.
I mean, obviously, the Dolphins are exciting with Achane and Waddle. I would love to see Waddle continue to finish strong. He's averaged 12.5 points per game since Tyreek went down, which is like, that's fine.
Not as many as you'd think, which is the
right.
Jalen Waddle
He's
story.
the wide receiver 17 in that stretch. So I would like to see him finish strong, especially against a team like the Saints. From a fantasy point of view, I think you could start Olave from the Saints side. Juwan Johnson and Devin Neal, if you're desperate, are options. But this is obviously a pretty boring game.
I have to tattoo myself also to get in on Jalen Waddle in 2027 when the Dolphins get rid of Tua. At that point, I'll be in on Jalen Waddle.
I don't know if I'm ever going to be in on Jalen Waddle. I don't think I can be. It's not a part of my DNA.
I also don't. The Saints, dude, playing like Devin Neal with Alvin Kamara out.
Are they going to give freaking Taysom Hill like 10 carries again in this game?
He's going to be the quarterback. He's the goal line quarterback, Taysom Hill. And it works. It's the only... I love when Taysom Hill's in the game. I know I love when Taysom Hill comes on the field.
Olave is the only Saint you're playing, right?
Yeah. And Juwan Johnson at tight end. Falcons are at the Jets. Kirk Cousins versus Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. You know what's crazy? The Falcons... trading their first round pick in this year's draft to move up basically 20 spots from like the 45th pick to like
with
the 25th
Rams.
pick. With the Rams. Again, just because they're buddies and Raheem Morris used to work for the Rams. And so they call him up and they move up 20 spots and they give the Rams their first round pick to move up 20 spots. And the Falcons being 4-7. If the Falcons lose this fucking game, and they drop to 4-8, and they have like a top 8 pick they hand to a Rams. There is a chance the Rams win the Super Bowl and have a top 10 draft pick. And then they could just they could flip that for a quarter pick next year and then take like Stafford's replacement like 2027.
When the Falcons did it, it didn't look great when they traded up for a second first-round pick. But when the Texans did it and got C.J. Stroud and then traded right up for Will Anderson the next pick, that was awesome and it worked out.
That was kind of that was kind of cool.
You know? So sometimes it can work when the picks are good and your team is good. It's funny how that works.
Right.
It's crazy. Right. Falcons, I don't know. You play Bijan. Kyle Pitts is so dead to me. It's unbelievable. So I think actually I've said so many anti-Kyle Pitts things this week. I think Kyle Pitts is going to score a touchdown.
I also fear that Drake London, who's like, in theory, not ruled out already, he's not going to play. And I fear that if you have Drake London on your team, he might not play the rest of the season.
I think he's out a month. I think the PCL, again, Ricky Pierce had a PCL injury. Brock Bowers had a PCL. If Drake London comes back, he's not Drake London. You have to, he's not.
And if they're 4-12, they're not going to play him week 17 and 18, I don't think.
We'll see. I don't know. He might want to, but he's not going to be the same. I don't think Drake London will be the same guy the rest of the year, especially structural integrity to the knee when your whole thing is being like the contested catch guy is not ideal.
I was just going to say the Falcons are actually third in the NFL in sacks this year. So that trade, I was just like, did that even appreciably help them? Obviously their record is not very good. The ironic part is, they made this trade to get better as a pass rushing team, which they absolutely needed to do. So I can understand their strategy from that point of view. But the big lesson here for the Falcons is and for every team is don't trade a future first when your quarterback situation is not absolutely set in stone. They did not know if Michael Penix was going to be good.
Well, that's the
you know what I mean? And they invested $100 million in Kirk Cousins, a top 10 pick in Michael Penix, and quarterback is their biggest problem.
I was going to say, we're going to have to do an episode in a couple weeks on just all the quarterback things that could change. But Michael Penix, so he ended up getting ACL surgery and reconstruction ACL because it's partially torn.
9 months out.
Try to rehab it and then hope that it stays together. You see this with pitchers all the time in baseball too, where it's it always fucking tears. It's but with Penix's history, they're we're just going to do it. But Michael Penix getting ACL surgery in late November means he very much may not start in week 1. Which means the Falcons will have to bring in a quarterback if they either keep Kirk Cousins, they're going to have someone to compete. And that's assuming Penix can come back and it's not like he was playing amazing before. And this is a guy who's going to be 26 years old with now 3 ACL injuries, not to mention a throw. You know what I mean? Where I not ideal. But at least they have the pass rush. Careful what you wish for. Also, Jeff Ulbrich returned to Jets. Justice for Jeff Ulbrich. Cardinals are at Tampa Bay. This is another sad game where it's Baker Mayfield. They're saying he might play. He was in a sling on a t-shirt. Eyeball test. I'm how many guys have either arm in a sling and play the next week? I know it's another non-throwing. There's a lot of weird non-throwing shoulder injuries right there. Non-throwing arm injuries between Rodgers, Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, Baker. But don't play him. I mean, the Bucs still could make the playoffs, but I don't know if Baker's going to get his shit rocked against Tampa. I feel like they should probably have Teddy play for a week.
The poor Bucs, man. They've lost 4 of their last 5. Their only win was against the Saints. They're just luckily in such a terrible division. I mean, if the Panthers can do anything right, they could probably sneak into the playoffs. But I don't. The Panthers are 6-6. The Bucs are 6-5. They've had a brutal schedule stretch, but it does get easier for them. They play the Cardinals, the Saints, the Falcons, and the Panthers, and then the Dolphins. So it's the Bucs just have to be fucking decent, and they can get into the playoffs.
They're so much better than ever. The Bucs are so much better than these teams when they're healthy. It almost highlights, I think, how bad the NFC North is. That when the Bucs lose 24 players at various points, that these teams still can't run around them. But I mean, the Panthers are playing the Rams this week. And the Rams are favored to win by 10.5. I thought that was going to be 14 because the Panthers look so bad. Bryce Young looked so small on Monday Night Football against the Niners. There was a sack where he kind of got grabbed by the jersey, not a collar.
Thrown.
He just was pushed. And it looked like a bullying in a middle school. He just was shoved to the ground and by a guy who was being blocked. And he just looked so small.
It's the opposite of the Big Ben thing or whatever. It's Big Ben would shrug off people in the pocket. It was so hard to bring him down. If you just lay a finger on Bryce Young in the pocket, he's getting thrown around.
You remember the scene in Happy Gilmore when the kid is Happy Gilmore's caddy, but Happy doesn't know that. So he just like shoves him to the ground. And he goes, "Mr. Gilmore, I'm your caddy." He's, "What are you doing with those clubs, kid?" The way that Happy shoves that kid and the way he just like tumbles over is how Bryce Young looks every time he gets sacked.
100%.
Does it not feel like with the Bucs, just across the league, it feels like there are so many teams that have just been completely decimated by injuries this year.
Yeah.
Where it's like the season is just completely thrown out because half of the roster is down. You look at like the Niners, you look at what happened to the Chargers, you look at the Bucs. There are so many teams that have just been absolutely ravaged by injuries.
This is how it always goes, but for whatever reason, people only remember it when it happens to their team. Every fan base can, whenever you have a good team, can tell you about the good team that was torn apart by injuries. But if you add them all up, it's like, yeah, it's like there's a bunch every year. But like the Ravens this year, the Bucs, like all these teams, like, but no, the Buccaneers, Mike Evans, if the Bucs were going to make the Super Bowl, I think Mike Evans would come back. But I'm like, man, does he even come back now from a broken collarbone? It's sad. It's actually
Bucky
crazy.
Irving might be back this week.
Yeah, Bucky Irving's coming back like Childish Gambino in that meme where he's going to have the pizza and the room's on fire. It's like Bucky Irving's like back, and it's like everyone's just fucking on a cot.
From Community. There's there's like a team in every single division has been ravaged. It's like AFC West, Chargers, AFC North, the Ravens were completely ravaged, and Joe Burrow got hurt. NFC West, you have the Niners got ravaged. NFC South, you have the Bucs. NFC North, the Lions secondary was absolutely screwed. The NFC East, you have Jaden Daniels being super hurt. And Washington, it's like, it's crazy. Every single division, there's a team that just got absolutely destroyed.
It's one of those things. Does that happen every year or does it not? I can't remember. Like it feels like that is kind of always the story, is like the healthy teams are the ones that are good at the end of the year. But it does feel like
there's more unhealthy
all
teams
of their
this year.
Offensive line more than normal this year. It's bizarre.
I think for at least the time I've been doing this, I've heard the phrase, I feel like there's more injuries this year. I've heard it every year for 8 years.
Right.
Like I just feel like people, like the injuries from 2 years ago, you just forget, but it all bleeds together. But I think it's like this every season, man. I mean, honestly, no, actually, I think there has not actually been less injuries. Like I remember 2019.
Feels like
it
there's
is
been less,
2019. The
there's been
quarterbacks,
less injuries to star players, but it feels like there's been more injuries to units in general that torpedo them.
That might be fair. Maybe there's more offensive, more concentration among like the tackles killed the Chargers, like the Bills, all these things. But I remember right around Thanksgiving, I think 2019, I think almost a third of the quarterbacks in the NFL were out. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not even counting COVID. I'm saying even before COVID, like there was like 65, 70 quarterbacks played in one season. Like and that's
why they're making all these new rules protecting quarterbacks. Yeah.
So no, it feels like it, but there's always 4 teams that are kind of deleted. I think in this case, the problem is they were fun. Like the Ravens were a fun team, and then they got hurt. The Ravens were supposed to be fun, and the Super Bowl favorites. The Chargers were fun, and then they got hurt. And the Bucs and Baker were really fun, and they got hurt, and maybe that's why it stands out. But I also would not play Bucky Irving.
I know you probably want to wait.
Don't you want to see him do anything? Is that me? Am I biased?
You probably spent a decent pick on him.
I guess you have to play him because you probably don't get better options.
The other guys on your team are probably like Aaron Jones types. Like, are you playing Aaron Jones over Bucky Irving? Alvin Kamara? I guess he's out. But like people like that. David Montgomery.
If it's Teddy, I mean, dude, I don't know. Part of me is like, I just don't like playing Bucky Irving at 2 different injuries that cost him 2 months. He's going to come back and you're just going to play him. He's going to get like 5 points. I
totally agree. I also like the reports around the injury have been very weird. It's like everybody thought
strange.
He was coming back. Very strange. Like I wouldn't play him either.
I'm not going to say don't, like it's not black and white, but if you have any other options, like I probably would play Aaron Jones over Bucky Irving. Well, I guess Seahawks. I don't know.
I know it's hard. With Max Brosmer.
Vikings are playing the Seahawks this week.
That's the late.
DK, how do you feel about Sam Darnold playing against the Vikings? Are you worried?
Yeah. I mean, I think it is the big storyline with this game is like how well do they? I mean, obviously they know him better than probably most other teams at this point. We're practicing against him all of last year. They definitely know his weaknesses really well. You know, what Brian Flores is going to do to him from a blitzing and pressure point of view is going to be really interesting. That is the storyline of this game. I think, you know, on paper, the Seahawks should win this game just because the Vikings are probably going to be starting a backup quarterback. And if they don't, it's going to be J.J. McCarthy.
Max Brosmer.
Right. In Seattle. But I mean, the Vikings, they can create chaos with the way that they bring pressure and on defense and all that stuff. So I think, you know, the worry here is Sam Darnold going to melt down? And, you know, as we saw a couple of weeks ago, it could happen.
How many points do you think Seattle needs to score to win this game?
That's a good question.
17 should do it, barring more special team stuff like
18?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
If that's the case, if that's the case, we should probably bet the Vikings. Like if we think like 17, 20 points going to win this game, is it really going to be like 20-3? I don't know.
Well, I
How
think the
many points do you
issue
think
is
that
Max
Brosner is going to score on the Seahawks?
I don't know. Cam Ward just lost by 6 on the Titans.
I know, but he was the number 1 pick.
They also scored. They also had a punt return touchdown.
I don't know why, but for some reason, my spidey senses are up with this game, and I think the Vikings might cover.
I think Kevin O'Connell was like Matt. He was really impressed with Max Brosmer's work ethic, and he said he had a very he was impressed at his processing. And he it's funny because I kind of wouldn't be shocked if Max Brosmer plays better than JJ McCarthy because he just played a lot more football in college.
Also, all that requires is that he's better than the 851st out of 852 qualified passers. He just has to be 850.
Bit of a low bar.
He just has to not be Jamarcus Russell.
Also, I correct myself. How much did he? Oh no, Minnesota. How many passes? I can't pull up New Hampshire. It's not even a D1 school. Oh my God, I can't even find out how many years this guy played in college.
We went to Minnesota after that.
He transferred to Minnesota. He played 4 years at New Hampshire first. Which is just, imagine being at the University of New Hampshire and you're the quarterback you were watching 2 years ago is like playing for the Vikings this week. It's probably pretty weird. And you're like, damn, we didn't even go to the games.
Why isn't the spread bigger then? Max Brosmer against Seattle, you would think minimum 2 touchdowns.
Because it was just 13.5 versus the Titans and they couldn't cover. I think it's that simple.
It's weird. Weird line.
Darnold better not wet his pants. Raiders are at the Chargers this week. This is another one. Chargers are favored. The Chargers favored by 3. No, that can't be right. It's 9.5. Yeah, the Raiders just fired. I wrote it down wrong. The Raiders are just fired Chip Kelly, and they should have because they have Geno Smith and Brock Bowers both looked worse than they've ever been their entire lives.
Yeah, the Chargers are coming off a bye after bottoming out against the Jags because, as we know, they can't play in Florida.
As is well known.
It confuses Californians, I think, being in Florida. They don't really get it.
Florida's a crazy
The environment's bizarre to them. But this is the Chargers need to win this game, and I'm sure they will. But the schedule gets incredibly hard for LA after this game. They play the Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Texans, and Denver after this game. I think this is like one of those you can play anybody you can think of. Like, I think you can play Vidal. I think I would play Vidal over Bucky Irving 100%.
Well, Marion Hampton might be back for this game. But
True.
You're right that Hampton and Vidal
not,
could both be. No, but you could play both of them if you had to, just because the Raiders are so bad, man.
I think you can play Quentin Johnson in this game. He has this is the perfect week to have a week off for him because I don't think he was healthy. But when he came back, his target share has been really good. I think Keenan Allen Ladd and Quentin Johnson are all viable dart throws as well as Kamani Vidal. Since Quentin Johnson came back in week 9, he's led the team in target share. And then, God, dude, the Raiders, it's I guess you obviously have to play Bowers. You're playing Ashton Genty, even though it's the worst vibes ever.
He's also coming off an ankle injury, which
he's got an ankle injury.
Help anything.
I think he's going to play. A shout out to Andy. Andy tweeted me saying that the weirdest stat of the season is that Ashton Genty leads all rookies in touchdowns. And I did double check that.
Does not feel that way.
And it's correct. He has 8 touchdowns, which leads all rookies, and it just couldn't be more opposite of the vibes in Vegas.
The one positive that you could take for the Raiders right now is, and this is something that's been pointed out on Twitter a bunch, that Greg Olsen, the new offensive coordinator for the Raiders, who's also been a coordinator for the Raiders in the past, tends to utilize his tight ends a lot, which, I think the Raiders were always going to do that, but there's a chance this could be a little nice little boost for Brock Bowers down the stretch.
Do you think the Raiders could get away with secretly asking the other Greg Olsen to call plays? And nobody would know.
I think he could have done a better job than Chip Kelly did this year.
Yeah, I wonder if they could maybe kind of sneak that in this week and nobody would really care or no.
Remember that time the Chiefs scored more points than the Raiders ran plays?
Here's the thing, though. Greg Olsen, the announcer, does not like Pete Carroll, I don't think. He's anti-Seahawks.
Greg Olsen doesn't like Pete Carroll?
That's what Seahawks fans will tell you. Yeah, because Greg Olsen was on the Seahawks for a hot minute there. And
he got cut?
He didn't like how they were utilizing him.
I have no memory of Greg Olsen on the Seahawks.
I honestly, Heifetz, I'm a Seahawks fan, and I have very little memory of it.
I think I do remember that.
He was on that team for a hot minute. But he didn't do a whole lot, and I think things didn't end great for him, like in terms of like his relationship with the team. So that's why like a lot of Seahawks fans are like think that Greg Olsen is anti-Seahawks. He was on the 2020 team. He had 24 catches and 1 touchdown in 11 games.
Sounds like a Kyle Pitts season.
He was 35.
Do you think we should just fade the Raiders like long term, like every year for the next 5 years
until they're
Vegas?
good? I think we would make a lot of money doing that. You know what? It's funny. The Warren Buffett had the Charlie Munger rule that he convinced Warren Buffett was of instead of like investing in meh companies that like you keep make a little bit, squeeze a little profit out of them. It's like just invest in great companies and wait. We should just bet against bad teams for every week, every year until they become good.
Well, the Raiders are interesting. I read this article about how Mark Davis, more than any other owner, like has the least incentive for his team to be good, because when you're in Vegas, you're a tourism city, and the visiting fans are almost more important than the home fans.
Right.
Yes,
they're making a trip out of it.
The Raiders are 2-9, and yet they're valued at $7.7 billion. Because the state of Nevada subsidized the stadium, and if you're 2-9 and your team is valued at $7.7 billion, and it doesn't matter if you win or lose because it's really about the visiting fans, like why do you give a shit? Why are you going to spend money for the team to be good?
Yeah, his dad was just win baby, and he's like, yeah, just play baby, just
make money.
No, there was a meeting between Jerry Jones and Mark Davis pregame for the Raiders-Cowboys game, and I just remember them shaking hands. I'm like, I know Jerry's old, but man, this guy's running circles around this fucking Mark Davis guy. Mark Davis, he's always. Someone said he looks like a microwave John Gruden.
That was Jackson.
Was that Jackson? Shout out Jackson. The funniest thing I've ever. Yeah, Mark Davis looks like microwave John Gruden.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys, since you're not in it as close as I am. Do you think Pete Carroll survives this season?
I do.
No, I don't think he should. I don't think he deserves it. There's nothing that has improved about this Raiders team. Nothing that was promised. Yes, the roster's bad.
Can they afford to fire him, though?
I don't know. But that's a good point. Well, maybe they're more liquid now with the Raiders.
I think he's back next year.
I don't think.
I think so, too. But
the Seahawks' first season was tough and this is 2010. And then the Seahawks came back the next year.
No, the Seahawks first season, they made the fucking playoffs.
Yeah, but they were 7-8.
7-9.
And they had the Marshawn Lynch, and they beat the Saints.
And then they beat
the
the defending champions.
But they weren't that good. Like, that was a tough season.
Well, yes. But they ended on such a high note.
They ended on a high note. But
this is not going to end on a high note. Here.
I have spoken to players who played on that team, and they did not have fond memories of that first season. They were kind of like struggling. Like they couldn't run basic run plays. They were shot. Fun fact, that Marshawn Lynch play, they blocked it wrong. That play was not blocked correctly.
Just broke like 8 tackles.
They blocked it incorrectly all week. They didn't want to call it. They ended up calling it by kind of accident, and then they blocked it wrong. And then Marshawn Lynch broke 11 tackles in one play. It's kind of like Hulk Hogan with the 400 days a year. Marshawn Lynch broke 13 tackles, even though there's only 11 people in the field.
Right.
But anyway, I kind of guess the Raiders, I don't know how you don't look at this as a long-term thing. You have to start over at some point. Geno is the most generous thing you could say, still a good player who could be a bridge to your next quarterback. The next quarterback's not on the roster. They need a total rebuild of the offensive line. There's really no pieces there on the defensive line either, because Max Crosby at this point is in no man's land, where he's really only useful at this point as a trade asset and like a locker room guy. But like his prime will not be aligned anymore with where the team is going. Like you might as well trade Max Crosby. But there's no talent on the team. And at this point, I guess why I don't think Pete Carroll believes in rebuilds. Why would you entrust a long-term plan to the oldest coach in the history of the NFL? Like, and I know firing after 1 year, and I don't like being a revolving door for teams, but the quarterback's not on the roster. I don't think you're going to get the quarterback next year. He's the oldest coach ever. Why should he be in charge of your long-term plan?
I get all that. I don't think they're going to get rid of him after 1 year. I think they're going to they got rid of Chip Kelly. They fired 2 coordinators, their special teams coordinator, their offensive coordinator. You're right. I guess I don't know how much they're going to be paying Chip. They're going to be paying Pete Carroll if they fire both of them. I just feel like with the pedigree of Chip, of Pete, I think they're going to bring him back for 1 more year and give him 1 more shot. Yeah.
And also he's going to have to pay John Gruden. John Gruden has this, we'll talk about this at some point in the offseason. John Gruden has a massive lawsuit bring versus the NFL that's going to explode at some point, because the NFL keeps a lot of things under wraps by going through the arbitration system. But their courts
won't they have to settle that then? Because they don't want everything to go public.
That's my point. John Gruden's lawsuit, it has been ruled in Nevada that it's not going through the NFL's legal world of inside arbitration. It is going through the court system, which means it's going to be
you can
public.
settle out of court.
Yes, but John Gruden doesn't want to.
He's like, I don't want to do
because
that.
John Gruden has
embarrass everybody.
He's got tons of money.
John Gruden is like $200 million.
Yeah.
I mean, he got a $100 million contract from the Raiders. Was paid probably $7 or $8 million a year from ESPN for like a day. Like John Gruden has hundreds of millions of dollars, and he just is going to want all these things to come out in public about all his enemies, and it's going to be insane. Anyway, the Raiders might have to pay him back for that lawsuit too, so they probably can't pay 3 coaches at the same time. Bills Steelers. This is the afternoon. This is a better game. We probably should have saved this for earlier. Craig, one is Aaron Rodgers going to play in this game? Bills Steelers Tuesday afternoon. Give me with a bullet.
Well,
100% answer.
I think he will play. Yes.
Do you? So Broderick Jones, the left tackle, is ruled out with a neck injury.
Oh, gosh darn it. He's been so good.
He had a great sack on Aaron Rodgers earlier this year.
Aaron Rodgers was so mad at him. It was so funny.
My gut, and I'm curious what you think, my gut is I kind of think the Bills are going to rock the Steelers. I think the Bills are way better, and that these teams are fake close. And the Texans went from 4 days to prepare for the Texans and the best defense in the NFL, and they look bad. 10 days to prepare for this. I think the Bills are way better.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I love the Bills in this game. The spread is 3.5 points. The Bills are favored by 3.5. This is like dink and dunk versus chunk. This is the Steelers who can't get a big play to save their life versus the Bills who are first in plays of 20+ yards. If Josh Allen doesn't turn the ball over, I think the Bills are going to win by like 20. The biggest issue is that Josh Allen's been turning over the ball a decent amount, and the Steelers have been generating a lot of turnovers. But outside of that, it's like the Bills should just run the shit out of the ball, which I think they can do. Derek Harmon's not playing for the Steelers this week. If the Bills just run the shit out of the ball and Josh Allen is protective of it, he goes full Jalen Hurts. I think they're going to win this game easily.
The line is only 3.5.
It is. It's too. I don't know why.
That is kind of shocking.
And maybe this is games in Pittsburgh. Maybe this is classic. Where the second you've given up on the Steelers is exactly when they kill you.
No, everyone's giving up on the Bills. That's the problem.
Yeah, true. And they have the mini bye. They've had the 10 days to prepare for it. Also, the Bills lose to teams that can run against them. Like they lost to Miami when Achane had 175 yards against them. But they beat teams who can't run. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Bucs. The Steelers can't fucking run the ball. They can't generate big plays. I just like the Steelers offense is so juiceless to me. It's like they're going to score 21 points or something. The Bills are going to put up 30.
I agree. I want the Bills this week. The primetime games this week, another just absolutely awful stretch for the primetime. Sunday Night Football's Broncos-Commanders, and then Monday Night Football's Giants-Patriots.
My God.
Pretty awful games. Broncos, I mean,
wait,
honestly,
who's starting for the Giants this week?
Well, I wanted to start with that. It's Tuesday. I don't want to pretend. It doesn't seem like Jaden Daniels will play for Washington. I feel like Jackson Dart might. I want to give you guys unbiased thoughts here.
Okay.
Similar things for both these teams. Jaden Daniels returning to practice, probably won't play, but has not been ruled out for the year. It sounds like Washington will play Jaden Daniels, who, just as a reminder, the elbow injury is his non-throwing elbow. Somehow didn't dislocate it, but didn't have any fractures or any ligament damage. I don't know how that's possible. And then Jackson Dart had a concussion after 4 concussion checks and all these injuries. In your unbiased opinion, DK, where do you prioritize getting Jaden Daniels back on the field, reestablishing momentum, having him get a little confidence back, getting reps, Giants bringing back Jackson Dart and getting him reps and getting him back in the flow, trying him with a new coach, versus your seasons are over and these guys are your future, and don't rush them back from injury and like take all the time in the world?
Especially for the Commanders, especially against the Broncos.
He's not going to play this week, but even bringing Jaden back next week, I'm like a little bit like, why?
Yeah. I mean,
Jaden's good already.
That's where I lean. You don't have to figure out who he is. You know what I mean? You don't have to. This isn't like a decision-making opportunity. You know he's the future of the franchise.
Fucking throw the Oculus on him. Have him on the sidelines playing the Broncos.
It's like we always talk about Jerry should be in the Ocean's 11 vault. You should just, Ender's game his ass. Just tell him he's playing. And
it's hard for teams to do this thing where they actually play for the future because there's so much pressure week in and week out. The players want to play. But, I think for the Giants, it's like an interim coach. Who gives a fuck?
Well, Mike Kafka gives a fuck, because if Mike Kafka makes Jackson Dart look awesome, maybe they'll hire Mike Kafka.
No, I know, but I'm saying from the Giants' point of view, they should. I think the ownership should just be like, you're not playing.
I hate the fucking Giants.
I feel like I would want Dart to get reps.
Dart needs reps. I agree with that. Also, Dart needs to learn to protect himself at some point.
Jaden Daniels, I was like, I know Jaden Daniels is awesome. I don't need him to try to rush himself back from some horrific elbow injury for no fucking reason. Dart has played 7 NFL games. I would like to see him play a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's always, it's to me, it's always, I totally agree generally, but with so many of the Giants injured, like the injuries that they've gone through. It's like he doesn't have a great support system.
I
Wan'Dale
know.
Robinson is like their number one receiver, and he's actually been pretty good. Honestly,
I'm not worried about that. I guess the darts thing is he needs to. I go back and forth because my brother's kind of like, why are they going to play dart? And I'm like, well, he needs to play football at some point.
I agree.
I think that's the bottom line. But
unambiguously though, if Dart comes back and gets concussed again, we're gonna be like, why the fuck did he play? But it's really, it's weird to victim blame, but he needs to learn to not take fucking hits all the time.
Yeah, like maybe don't dial up like QB dives, but I think playing him would be probably beneficial long term for his development.
And for fantasy, I still think you play Jackson Dart if he plays, just because he's been rushing so much, and I don't think he's gonna stop running. But it wouldn't be shocking if he was less valuable. But Craig, we made a trade. Craig traded me Jackson Dart in the Ringer League, but we'll see. I mean, he's been good enough that you probably want to play him. But the Patriots also, I think the Giants could win this game. The Patriots, I mean, their left tackle, Will Campbell, has an MCL sprain. Jared Wilson, the left guard, has a high ankle sprain. So the Patriots, who had not a great offensive line, are down their these two players on the left side and then also Milton Williams, who's this big, high-priced defensive tackle free agent they signed from the Eagles, is also now an injured reserve. So the Patriots kind of lost the three of their biggest acquisitions on the offensive line. You're going to get Vidarian Lowe at left tackle or whatever. Like, he's probably the worst tackle in the league. So I guess the Giants defensive line, I know the Patriots want to run the ball. The Giants run D is bad, but I don't think it's bad enough that the Patriots can run on the Giants.
Well, should we just get to Ringer 107 then?
We can. Also, sorry, Giants fired the defensive coordinator, who looks 60. He's the oldest looking 38-year-old man I've ever seen. Google Shane Bowen fired. Look at the pictures they have of his haggardly ass.
Shane Bowen.
Wow, he really does look kind of old. He's like the pictures of the guys from the 80s who are like 19 years old and they look like they've had a mortgage.
This is like, he looks like
they're like collecting their pension.
He looks like Gene Hackman.
He does. He looks like it. He looks like a colorized photo of like Grizzly Adams.
He could be in some like old Taylor Sheridan show. Like he could be in 1883.
He's like an innkeeper in fucking in Yellowstone.
I will say I do have like beard intimidation where this guy's 7 years older than me, and I what he's able to do with his facial hair is so alien to me. I do feel like he is more of a man than I am.
I agree. He's way more of a man than I am. A man with beards, and not DK's beard. I'm talking like the bush. Like, no offense to your beard. Your
Thanks for pointing that out.
Just drive by it.
Well, it's good too, but like I'm talking the Ryan Fitzpatrick beards. I'm like, clearly that man's more virile.
When the follicles like go up to like your cheekbone.
Oh yeah,
that's when I'm like, you are built differently. Makes me feel like Bryce Young.
I feel a little like Bryce Young too. We can't really grow.
Got your little backpack on.
Yeah.
Even DK's beard, I'm just like, fuck, I can't do that.
No, I can't do that.
It's too splotchy.
Thanks, Heifetz. Makeup call.
You saved it.
Well, I just meant like, I didn't mean not your beard.
He's like, even DK's
your beard doesn't look like this. He's a man.
He had a beard.
Just saying. I mean, this
Grizzly Adams was a man. That was that was a golfer, right? Isn't that guy a pro golfer?
Grizzly Adams?
Yeah, no. The guy who was.
Oh, you're talking about Talladega
did
Nights.
have a beard.
Yes.
You mixed two movies together there.
Yes,
Craig.
right.
Yeah.
That was Lee Trevino, I think.
Lee Trevino.
Yeah, Lee Trevino.
Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
You eat pieces
Talladega.
of shit.
He's had a beard. Jesus was a man. He had a beard.
Sweet baby
I'm telling
Jesus.
the story. I'm doing the case.
8-pound, 4-ounce baby Jesus.
He was a chip.
All right, Ringer 107. Today's Ringer 107 is brought to you by FanDuel.
Bills -3.5. Lock it in.
Fucking with a bullet. Thank you. I'm
all right.
With a bullet. I want Rams -10.5 to the Panthers. I watched Bryce Young get thrown down. I was like, dude, the Rams are going to fucking
Rams are a
mince meat in
fucking
Carolina.
buzzsaw right
Rams
now.
are going to buzzsaw. They're going to oh my God. Can we agree? Rams -10.5? You can
I'm
make
down with that
for me. I kind of wonder about Arizona +3. It's a little whack to make this decision on Tuesday. Baker's a warrior. Maybe Baker will play, but if it's Teddy Bridgewater and the Cardinals are getting points,
I know, dude. Teddy's not good.
Teddy literally, Teddy's one of the most likable players in NFL history. He literally retired to coach.
Teddy's
he hasn't
not
played
good.
in 3 years. Yeah. He literally retired to coach high school football.
Is Baker going to play?
He will want to play,
no.
but he shouldn't. I don't think he will play.
I lean no.
What is the hit rate of people who are in his sling playing 6 days later?
Do you think this line suggests he's playing?
I think it was big enough that they didn't want to flip it because it was.
If Teddy is confirmed starting, do you think the Cardinals are favored?
No, but I think they should be.
I kind of agree.
If Teddy Bridgewater's playing versus the Bucks, I
If
don't really
it's
care. if Bucky
Brissett
Irving
versus
is back.
Bridgewater, it's even, and then the Bucks get the home field.
I don't
advantage.
mind that Heifetz. I kind of like Arizona +3.
I just want the points. I'm like, are the Bucks? That's the thing is, are the Bucks gonna? If Bridgewater beats the Cardinals by a touchdown, maybe it's because Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to come back, and that's people are upset that the Cardinals' chances will get worse when Marvin Harrison returns to the field.
How do we feel about the Chargers laying 9.5 against the Raiders?
I think we do it. There's always a chance that a new coordinator actually makes the offense a lot better, but I kind of want to see it first. They might just do different stuff that always throws off defenses sometimes, and you're banking up. But the Raiders are so bad, man. Chargers had a bye.
I'm fine with that.
I had that written down as well.
Any Thanksgiving games or no? They're all
We can
too
talk
close.
about it.
So it's Packers, Lions. That feels like a stay away.
It's Chiefs, Cowboys, and then it's Bengals, Ravens. The only thing I was thinking about is the Bengals +7, but
I know the Packers beat the Lions by like 25 points in or whatever. It felt like that in week 1, but I kind of want to bet on the Lions.
I feel like every time we bet on the Lions, we lose.
I know.
Yeah, probably.
Should do we continue to follow our rule of we just bet the Colts blindly or no?
Oh, just blindly bet the Colts.
It's kind of a weird line. They're favored by 4.5 against
Here's
the
the Texans. The defense is awesome, but man, the quarterbacks fucking suck. Stroud's been bad. Like Stroud's bad. Davis Mills is bad.
I like the Texans though.
Texans are great.
I'm kind of in on the Texans these days.
I know.
I changed my mind. I think if we go back and listen to our shows from early in the year, I'm like, I fucking hate the Texans. But now I kind of like them. I'm kind of in on them.
We're out on blindly betting the Colts. Taking a break.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I kind of like the Texans. But as you know, I'm not gonna. I don't want to try to talk anybody out of anything.
DK, we need you to
That's
participate.
very helpful.
Weigh in
DK,
here.
thank
I know
you.
what I am doing is giving you guys the opportunity to go against what my gut says.
I can't believe Shador Sanders is only a 5.5 point underdog.
I would bet the Browns if Dylan Gabriel was playing. Well, no, I wouldn't. I hate betting bad quarterbacks. Should we bet the Broncos giving 6.5 to Washington? Speaking of bad quarterbacks.
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
Washington's fucking awful, bro.
Washington
so
is terrible.
bad.
I love that.
The Broncos have been bad, but dude, Washington's been bad in Denver's offense, but
dude, if we can get this at 6.5 and not 7, I am in.
I think we do the Denver. At Washington, what was the last competitive Washington Commanders game?
Well, these are a lot of favorites here, which is usually pretty like. It's
I
pretty
don't think about it. No, don't think about it.
I know.
We're doing
We did a rewatchables the other day with Sal, the movie 2 for the Money, which is a funny movie. But as I was walking out with Sal to our cars, he was like, so how do you and the guys make your picks for Ringer 107? And I was like, we just hop on, hash it out for like 5 minutes. And he was like, do you prepare the picks? Do you got to let each other know what you're going to do? Do you come with a plan? I'm like, no plan. We just show up, talk for 5 minutes. He's like, God damn it. It's like, you guys are tied for first and you don't do any prep. You just like,
no, we have no
come
prep
up with
whatsoever.
shit on the spot. I'm like,
we have no prep whatsoever. We figured out. Well, with it said, I think the rule, when we went 0-5, we didn't do this. The last thing we have to do is we have to say the names of the coach and quarterback for each team.
Right. Yeah.
We are picking Josh Allen and Sean McDermott over Aaron Rodgers with the broken wrist and Mike Tomlin. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
We were picking Matt Stafford and Sean McVay giving 10 to win by 10.5 points over Bryce Young and Dave Canales. I feel awesome about that.
Book it.
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett and John Gannon over hopefully Teddy Bridgewater and Todd Bowles.
Yep.
I mean, that one's not quite as clear.
No, that one's
No.
that one's
That one felt worse. That one
Dicey.
felt worse. All right. That one felt worse. We were taking Justin Herbert and John Harbaugh giving to win by 10 points over or 9.5 here over Pete Carroll and Geno Smith.
Yeah. This year, I feel okay about that. Normally,
He's old.
Give me pause, but the Raiders. It feels like the Raiders have kind of just quit.
Yeah, it does. And we're doing Sean Payton and Bo Nix to win by a touchdown, basically 6.5 over Marcus Mariota and Dan Quinn. I'm okay with that too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me likey. And now there's.
Do we want to take the Niners over fucking Shador with the 5.5? I know that he never beats Jim Schwartz, and the Browns defense is the best unit in the game. But I'm like,
no, I don't want.
Fucking Shador is playing, dude.
I don't want to.
They're going to get their first W since 1984, when I was 2 years old.
No, I'd rather the thing that'll kill us is if Baker plays and we're screwed.
You want to pick a different game then?
I like having an underdog.
Seahawks giving 10.5 to the Vikings. Dude, it's going to be Max Brosmer.
I don't know. That game freaks me out.
But you want it, Craig? You want an underdog?
Yeah, I do.
Giants 7.5.
Fuck. I kind of like it. Heifetz is all coming in with this.
Is Dart going to play? I guess
stuff.
if
Doesn't
Jameis
matter.
plays,
If Dart doesn't play,
matter.
Jameis plays.
Yeah. I don't know. How? I mean, that's not. Do you? I feel
The
like
Giants are just going to continue to make Bill's life hell.
Have you had a good feel for the Giants this year, betting wise?
Probably not. Fuck it.
Heifetz just wants to feel something this Thanksgiving.
It's true. Fucking.
He's like, I need some skin in the game on this.
Can't feel anything anymore.
I don't know. What do you want? Cardinals? Is Baker going to play? What are the odds? Baker's a psycho. Is he going to play?
He's a psycho, but also he
hasn't really been very good lately.
He's going to get hit, and it will get worse.
I'm gonna search Baker Mayfield and see what the world tells me.
Do we do the Giants?
Craig, I just saw from Ian Rappaport, Baker Mayfield has a chance to play after positive news from his MRI.
Oh, if he has a chance to play.
This is from yesterday for what it's worth.
Let's bet the Giants. Let's live.
Wait, hold on. We never do the money line parlay in this shit.
True.
Should we just do the Seahawks to just win the game and then just combine it with
Will that work?
Well, we have to put it with something a little bit. How many massive favorites can we parlay together? Seahawks, Rams, Broncos, Chargers, minus 105.
I love that. But we have the Rams, though. I don't think we can do both.
Yeah, and we have the Chargers. And we have the Broncos. That's all.
Just put the Giants in. Giants money line.
Is there any game that we feel good about that's like a close game that we would just take as a pick 'em? Like
would have to be one of the Thursday games.
Oh, wait. Let's do the Eagles to beat the Bears with the Vikings, with the Seahawks to beat the Vikings.
That's not enough.
What does that come out to?
Minus 210. We need one more. And then we toss in Chargers or Broncos.
We already have those teams.
Oh, we have both them. Fuck. We toss in Colts.
Lions? I guess we don't like betting on the Lions.
Or
Chiefs.
I actually hate this. Let's just
What
pick
about
a spread.
Chiefs?
No, yeah, fuck this. Yeah, fuck this.
Let's just
pick between Broncos. Take the Broncos.
But no, we're doing. You want to do Giants?
We already have the
Let's just do Giants plus 7.5.
Who did we take out? Bills, Rams, Giants, Chargers, Broncos.
We took out the Cardinals.
We took out the Cardinals. Bills, Rams, Giants, Chargers, Broncos.
Yes,
if
because
Baker
we don't
plays,
know what Baker Mayfield's stats is.
All right.
Although Craig, would be funny to text the group again asking to reverse your trade.
I'll probably do that. Just for fun. It's a good pick.
Hey guys,
All
can we
right.
get out of this bet that we made? Can we change it?
Fuck yeah. I'm
We don't
excited.
feel as
for
good
this.
about
Bills,
it
Rams,
anymore.
Giants, Chargers, Broncos. Giants going to win the game.
Giants are going to get their asses kicked.
And get fucking rocked. Fuck. All right.
Okay.
Today's Ringer 107 is brought to you by FanDuel. Odds subject to change. If everyone's listening Thanksgiving, like we actually are thankful for everyone listening.
We are thankful.
We are thankful. We did the whole like players are not thankful for bit on Power Hour, but like if you're listening, I really thank you to everyone for listening. It is hard to describe how cool it is. All the people who've come around to love the show and email us, contact us, and listen. So you have basically infinite options to spend your time. So it's very cool that people choose to spend it with us, especially if you're doing it on a holiday or holiday weekend. So thank you to you guys. Thank you, DK. Thank you, Craig, for putting up with me. Thank you, Tucker. Thank you, Carlos, Kai, Ronak, Austin. Just an unbelievable team. But of course, the number one. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Creed.
By
the way, are there going to be halftime shows in these games on Thanksgiving?
Oh, that's why you did Creed, because it's the famous Cowboys performance.
That's what
DK,
Can you take me higher to a place where blind men see?
Was that a Thanksgiving game or was that?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was
I think.
Thanksgiving.
Cowboys.
Also,
He's wearing a Cowboys jersey, I think.
He is.
Yeah.
That's DK. They said DK didn't have it. DK still got it.
I still have some memories.
That was so good, DK.
It's somewhere in there.
Some memories.
Some memories. DK, that was fucking amazing. Also, the Paramount Plus commercial where they had all the Paramount people and the old British man who plays
Elton John.
No, he's also a
Mick Jagger.
Star Trek.
Oh,
X-Men.
Patrick Stewart.
Yes, Patrick Stewart is like telling Tua to throw "Hey Arnold" over the mountain, set to that song from Creed.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
and
yes,
and Tua's like, I don't
that.
know, and Patrick Stewart's basically like, stop being a bitch, Tua. And it's like, unless you're scared. And Tua just throws "Hey Arnold" over the mountain. I was like, it's to Creed. It's fucking amazing.
Do you guys know what year that Creed, the famous halftime show for Creed was?
94.
Oh, I was gonna say a little later. I was gonna say like early aughts.
02.
Craig is right on it. Craig is on top of it.
What was it?
2001.
Yeah.
Can you sing it one more time?
Can you take me higher? I like, dude, they got the other one? With arms wide open.
Dude, the TED joke, it's like you can sing any song from the 90s with you don't need consonants, just all vowels.
Yeah. A-E-I-O-U.
It was like Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah, Hootie. A-E-I-O-U.
There was like a whole genre of music in that era that was just like
you and me.
It just all sounded exactly like that guy. Do you guys know the other song that I listened to recently that it kind of fucking slaps that you don't remember is the I don't even remember who it's by, but it's like the
that was the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, close.
I don't know. Wait, keep going. I don't know the song you're talking about.
Yeah, keep going.
Hold on, I'm not gonna keep doing it. It's Crash Test Dummies. And the name of the song is literally Heifetz is never going to get this one.
Bop.
Crash Test Dummies?
Yeah.
With arms wide open. Oh, I see it here.
This was 93, so this is a little earlier.
Oh, the title of the song is literally
There was this kid who got into an accident and couldn't come to school. Is this not ringing a bell at all?
No.
Fucking, this is like worse than your Bob. Not
No,
knowing
it's not.
Bob.
Is that Craig?
This is a huge song.
Craig hasn't heard of the song either.
Hold on, let me listen to it.
You gotta go right to the chorus, Craig, when they start humming.
I don't think I know this.
What? This was a huge song in the 90s. Crash
I have
Test
no idea what you're
Dummies?
talking about.
I actually don't think I know this, unfortunately.
What? It's in the movie Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, is it?
Not that you guys fucking know that movie either.
How dare you?
Craig does.
Dude, you know
The
what?
song seems like kind of a downer.
Yeah, it is. A lot of songs in the 90s were downers. It's like grunge music.
What are you guys so fucking worried about?
What do you have to be so morose about?
Yeah, what were you so morose about?
The upcoming Y2K disaster, you know?
Oh, God.
You guys know, DK, you know it's another great one from that generation? Do you know the song Lips of an Angel by Hinder?
Yeah, I'm sure I do.
It's really great to hear your voice calling my name. It sounds so sweet. You know that song?
I
don't. Hinder.
It's a fucking banger. It sounds so sweet coming from the lips of an angel. You don't know that?
I don't think
I feel like that's in a
one.
movie. I'm trying
It
to place
makes me weep. You don't know that?
Tucker says the video is really funny.
Oh, really? I haven't even seen it. That's my least favorite era of like visual cinematography is like late 90s, early aughts. I think it's awful. I hate it. Like movies like The Minority Report, they all look like Linkin Park videos and they make me cringe.
Yes. 100%.
I don't like them. Everything's like green and blue and blown out. I don't like it.
I actually was watching the Linkin Park music video the other day and I was like, man, this is like the oldest looking new looking thing I've ever seen.
Because it's like early digital when it's like, we're coming up with new technology and we think this looks cool. And it just couldn't, it aged
looks
horribly so quickly.
Ancient.
Yes. It like looks so much worse than something from 10 years earlier when it was still like film and like.
Well, that's just because they were using real people in real locations. It's funny how that like is cyclical. Now it's like you go to a movie and you're like, oh my God, they used this. They filmed this using real light.
I know.
They
didn't make this in a fucking sound set.
Ever heard of it?
I know. That's like a compliment of the film now. They're like, did you hear that in Dune they actually went to Hungary to film it?
They went to a fucking place on Earth.
No way.
Where there was real trees and shit. I'm serious though. Like those movies are so much better. Like if you have even like a little CGI in your movie, I'm just like, ugh.
I mean, Avengers was pretty good.
Dude,
Yes, but in its own way.
DK will get around to it. He hasn't seen it yet.
You know what though?
Avengers.
Here's what I'll say. You watch like a movie like Avatar in the theater, makes Avengers look like a school project.
Really? I can't wait to see Avatar. I actually
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see Avatar Fire and Ash, which I've read ads for on this show, but I actually am pretty excited to see that thing, not just saying it. I think Avatar, if you haven't Avatar to me is like this art project, and it's like James Cameron just spent 12 years working on this thing, and it's like, go see it in a theater.
I've decided I've pivoted. I feel like there's a lot of people who say that Avatar is like culturally irrelevant and a waste of James Cameron's time. I disagree. I think
Well,
it's
it
actually
was culturally
fucking awesome.
irrelevant until he made the other ones. Like the 12 years before the Avatar, the second one came out, it was irrelevant. No one could have told you the main character's name in Avatar.
I'm not. Yeah, but the point people make, and I get it, is that like you don't know anybody who says Avatar's my favorite movie. Nobody ever brings it up. Oh, what a favorite scene, a favorite line. There's none of that. And maybe that's just the people in my
I like
orbit.
the SNL skit about the font. That
Oh
they
my god,
use.
all the time.
No, it's good. Making now that
Wait,
there's
did you
going to
bring
be other
this up
movies
because they made a sequel? He's like, they made a sequel?
No.
He did it again.
It's back though, dude. Way of Water was
and
good.
they just bolded it.
Oh shit, that's so good.
Wait, you just interviewed James Cameron with The Town. Did you fucking bring up Papyrus or no?
No, I didn't bring
You
up
didn't.
Papyrus.
You went all the way to see James Cameron. You didn't bring up Papyrus.
It's
No,
like they
I-
wrote the name of the movie, selected the whole word, and then scrolled down to Papyrus.
It's one of the greatest bits, I think, in SNL history, honestly.
Who thought of that? Do you know
I
who came
actually.
up with that bit?
We have to text Matt Bellany. I can't believe Matt Bellany didn't ask him about Papyrus.
I completely forgot, damn it. I should
thought
have.
he was a fucking journalist. Matt
I wish I
Bellany, what are
remember.
you doing?
I know.
What did you even talk about for 2 hours?
James Cameron would have fought you if you asked that question.
Probably.
Oh
I
my
did.
God.
I did see Avatar 3 though, but I won't. I can't talk about it yet.
Do you want to
to
plug it? You went to James Cameron's bunker with Matt and interviewed him.
Yeah, we went to Lightstorm, which is his company down in Manhattan Beach, and we interviewed him for like 75 minutes. He was awesome. It's out right now. We put out both parts on Monday. Go listen to them. They're great.
I can't believe you didn't bring up Papyrus.
I know.
So I think
forgot
that
about
was the right
Papyrus.
move, Craig.
I probably would have had I remembered.
Oh God.
But go listen to him. He's like the most legendary director who basically just only makes movies that gross $1 billion. That's like his thing.
It's his kink.
Dude,
Yeah.
Speaking of that, when I was in high school, there was no bigger obsession among the girls in my high school than fucking Titanic. People were going to Titanic like 5, 6, 7 times because of Leo mainly.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it was
Leo.
it also was like supposed to be a huge flop. It's funny. Like a lot of James Cameron's movies are like reported to be disasters on set, and they're way over budget. It's not going to work. And then Titanic was the highest grossing movie ever at the time. Same thing with Avatar. People called it the blue Smurfs in space. That's what they called Avatar. Thought it was going to be a huge disaster.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Shout out-
Star Wars. Maybe like Star Wars a little bit. Wasn't Star Wars supposed to not do well? And then
Yes.
it just
Yeah.
fucking caught on. Like
Dude, the craziest
Firestorm?
thing about Star Wars, George Lucas offered Steven Spielberg, they offered each other
Stake in their
or-
movies.
stake in their movies. And I think Spielberg turned it down.
And now,
I mean, he's fine. Spielberg's
Well, he did
doing
fine.
fine. But he turned it down.
Dude,
which is crazy.
Fantasy on one of the rewatchables mentioned Steven Spielberg traded the land they needed for Universal Studios for 1% of the gate.
Yeah, the gate. That's like
Which
Matt
is the
Bellany talks about
craziest
it all the time.
Trade
He
I've
says,
ever
like,
heard in my life.
I don't think it's 1%, but it's a percentage of every ticket at Universal Studios goes to Steven Spielberg. They might have like bought him out of that now, but Matt
be
calls
wise.
it like the greatest deal in Hollywood history.
I love hearing about that stuff.
It's fucking wild.
George
Yeah.
Lucas is like mega billionaire because of Star Wars.
Go listen to The Town with Matt Bellany, where they
It's
talk
very good.
about Pirates.
He has some choice thoughts on
Pirates.
Netflix, our future hosting platform.
Sweet.
Sure, it's all super positive. Goodbye, everyone. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.